All right. This reading is going to be about doppelgangers or doubles, body doubles. The appearance of a double of a living person thought to be a death omen or bilocation, the astral body of someone having an out-of-body experience. Doppelganger comes from the German meaning double walker. So think of walking two dogs. This is walking two humans. It's, or like, you know, if you had like a zombie human and you use the spirit of somebody else in that human, kind of like you were using like a remote control, like a gaming remote or something like that. It's really creepy. Whatever. The belief of the spirit or soul existing in a double is ancient and widespread. The ancient Egyptians said that the soul had a double, or what's called a Ka, it's K-A, and is a special kind of tomb called the House of Ka, and was reserved for the double. So this is similar to, I'm just looking at the leprechaun's ears. If we were listening to this from a different culture, perhaps, you would, this would be significant to having a godmother, or even more intimately connected would be something like a golem, or I don't really know a lot of other. This is the evil eye watching over your children so that jealousy does not destroy them or come around them. You know what I'm saying? This is equivalent to that. This is the soul experience versus the body experience. So your doppelganger is a double of your soul that may look a lot like you. As a death omen, there are reports of seeing doubles just as the individual in question is about to die. The double usually appears real, but has a ghostly, filmy look about them and can sometimes act mechanically. In some rare cases, such as that of the poet Shelley, who saw his own double before drowning, the double appears to be, to the dying individual, him or herself. As well as being a death omen, many physical researchers who have examined cases of doppelgangers believe that they are projections of consciousness that somehow take on a form resembling reality. So when you see people around you that look similar, and ironically enough, there are people that look like everybody, and then there are people that don't look like anybody at all. So super ambiguous or super unique, very mundane, and then very rare. It's an energy signature that also matches what you would know about the physical appearance of the same person, whatever. This can happen involuntarily, or it can be accomplished at will. English medium Eileen Garrett suggested that the double is a clairvoyant projection that can be manipulated to develop supernatural powers. So this came out upside down, but that's what I was literally in the middle of reading, that a double can be manipulated to develop supernatural powers. Kind of sounds like forceful to me. Yeah, like it sounds like it would be a little bit forceful or a little bit burdensome to try to force somebody to develop supernatural powers. However, having a doppelganger or a body double isn't really that far-fetched, in my mind at least. When you think about your family members, you know, that's usually some of the first people that you get a long time to stare at as a baby. And the way that you identify yourself, even subconsciously at that age, is through identifying, oh, when I look in the mirror, I see two eyes that look like my mother's eyes or look like my father's eyes, or whatever the case may be. A doppelganger is your subconscious regurgitating that information back up to you again and again, so that you can maybe identify. Like, it took me about half of my life to be able to say, oh, that woman maybe kind of favors me. I don't really have a very good, not good, it's not about positive and negative. It's just about a very clear, I did not have a very clear image of what I personally look like, physically, mentally, spiritually, or otherwise. I had no conscious awareness of that. I do now, obviously, but there is something having to do with, like, when you're constantly scrambling to find out who you are, then it doesn't give you much time to look around and see who's already standing right next to you that may be your doppelganger, your twin, your lookalike, your however you want to phrase it, you know? She was so busy climbing that this is like the first time she looked over there and was like, oh my gosh, like that's my my carbon copy right there. You know what I mean? Same thing goes for kind of energy signatures though. So you may know, for example, a set of fraternal or identical twins would be optimal for this specific example. But if you knew identical twins and you're getting to know both of them at the same time, the difference in personality can be so remarkably significant that although the energy signature is extremely similar based off the way they look, obviously their personalities differ wildly. Same thing could be backwards. Maybe they act exactly the same, but they look different, or maybe they look exactly the same and act exactly the same. In this specific case, that is the symbiosis in play. This is the Simbi card, S-I-M-B-I. So this is, I do want to say this does kind of apply to what I'm talking about, because this doppelganger energy is a bifurcated, or it's the splitting of one egg into two different individuals, obviously. But that's what, if you were to simulate creating twins, this would be the perfect example, doppelgangers. And there would have to be, you know, bi obviously means two or both or multiple, a couple. That's the meaning. So if you're simulating both of these conscious and physical existences at the same time, that is this energy being reflected. So I personally do believe in doppelgangers. I have definitely seen people that I would constitute as being someone else's doppelganger, or at least as close as they could probably get without having genetically shared material. So, any other hootie.